Welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Cotoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Feds won't extend bilingualism bonus to employees who speak an Indigenous language. Westjet launches legal battle to overturn the order to compensate passengers $1,000. Toronto shutdowns 2 CNE food vendors over health hazards. Tory announces 5-point plan to build home faster, tackle the affordability in Toronto. Toronto Island Ferry returning to service Wednesday following the final series of checks. Mississauga man arrested in $1 million home renovation fraud. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. The Federal Treasury Board says it has no plans to expand a bonus now paid to employees who speak English and French to those who know an Indigenous language. The bilingualism bonus is an extra $800 employees receive a year if they work in a position designated as requiring language skills in English and French, Canada's 2 official languages. Expanding it to compensate employees who speak an Indigenous language was among the suggestions senior civil servant had late last year as they discussed ways to address language concern held by some Indigenous public servants. Some details of those considerations were contained in a briefing note released to the Canadian press under the federal access to the information law. Westjet has launched a legal battle seeking to appeal a Canadian transportation agency ruling that ordered the airline to compensate a passenger $1,000 for a flight disruption caused by a crew shortage. When issuing its ruling in July, the CTA clarified that, in general, airlines cannot deny the passengers compensation for flight disruption caused by the staffing shortages. In a motion filed in the Federal Court of Appeal on August 10, Westjet argues that the CTA's ruling was flawed because it was based on misinterpretation of Canada's air passenger protection regulation. The court has yet to decide if Westjet can proceed with its appeal. A pair of food vendors at the Canadian National Exhibition have been forced to close up shop following failed health inspection. According to the information available on the Awaz News, Zabiya Halal and Maple Lodge Farm each received 3 infractions on Monday. Inspectors said Zabiya Halal and Maple Lodge Farm had their spaces maintained in a manner that permitted a health hazard, which is listed as a crucial infraction, the most serious of those issued under the Dine Safe inspection system. The eateries were also slapped with 2 infractions apiece related to an alleged lack of adequate supplies at the hand washing station and hot and cold running water in the utensil washing area, charges with the city list as significant. The vendors must remain closed until all the infractions listed in the inspection are corrected according to the city's website. Ottawa will create a special team to counter Russian disinformation and propaganda, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced today. Canada is also expanding its sanction list to include 62 more individuals as well as Russian drone maker concerned Avantometica in retaliation for Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. The Prime Minister announced the new measures during a special meeting involving leaders from dozens of countries supporting Ukraine. Nationally intended to discuss Russia's illegal annexation of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula in 2014, the meeting came on the eve of the 6th-month anniversary of Moscow's full-scale invasion of its western neighbor. Toronto mayoral candidate John Tory has released a 5-point plan to create more housing and address affordability challenges in the city. Tory, who is seeking a 3rd term, announces his first campaign policy about the housing today morning ahead of the municipal election in October. Tory's plan consists of the 5-pillar expanding the housing option by permitting missing middle housing, cutting the red tape and speeding up approval time, asking the province to allow the city to enact a use it or lose it policy for developers sitting on the approved but undeveloped land, allocating a portion of the city-owned land to the developed by the nonprofit, and incentivizing the construction of the purpose-built rental housing by reducing the fee and charges. The Toronto Island Ferry that crashed into the dock at the Jack Layton Ferry Terminal late Saturday is re-entering regular service Wednesday following a final series of checks. On Monday afternoon, following a comprehensive inspection by industry safety expert, the City of Toronto said they received clearance from the Transport Canada for the Sam McBride Ferry to resume its duty following the collision, which injured 12 people, including 2 children. The city, which operates the island ferries and is conducting its own internal investigation into the hard docking incident, initially hadn't provided an exact timeline as to when the service will resume. A Mississauga man is facing charges in connection with what police are describing a $1 million contracting scam that took place over the span of 2 years. Police say the members of the Peel Regional Police Fraud Bureau undertook a comprehensive investigation after receiving multiple fraud reports involving the same suspect. It is alleged that the suspect arranged to provide home contractor services to the clients in the cities throughout the Greater Toronto Area. Police say the suspect expected the deposit from the client but never actually began the work. The total value of the fraud is pegged at an excess of $1 million. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cutoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.